All right. Woo! Welcome to the Geekfort. Here we are in the Geekfort. Hello, Uncle Yukon. I see that you were here and we're on for before time. I hope everyone is having a good Sunday. It is nice and it's not really super bright here where I am. It's very cloudy out. Rained a little bit earlier. It's a little cold. I probably might get a sweatshirt. I don't know. I might get a sweatshirt on because wearing a short sleeve shirt, it's still a little cold. Watching a dog video hiking and that cool. I have Goonies playing in the background because if you didn't see by the thumbnail, we're talking about all things from my childhood, which was the 80s. So I've got a lot of things I want to share with you about like movies and TV shows and stuff that I loved about the 80s. It's chilly down where you are there too? I know it probably is because you're not that far from me. You're probably like 45, 50 minutes from where I am. We're not that far away from each other. One day we'll have to meet in person once we're allowed to. Well, if you're joining us for the first time, this is the Geek Fort here on Sundays. It is a blanket fort I've made out of blanket or fabric that looks like wood, so it looks more like a fort. Hey, Mark, welcome aboard. Hashtag I'm so old. I thought that was another word. I was like, isoled? What's isolode? I'm old enough that I don't know what that means. Uncle Yukon, Prisoner of Azkaban playing in the background. Nice. That's a good one. Like I said, I got Goonies playing in the background. So we could start, of course. If you guys want to jump in right away, we can jump in and do a Mad Libs or two or three. Only do one at a time, though, really. So anyway, which would you guys like to do first? We can do DC Comics, we can do Star Trek, or we can do Avengers. You know, I keep talking about getting more to add to it since we ended the Star Wars one. So I just need to look at the list of ones that are out there and then maybe let you guys choose which one we should do next because I keep forgetting to do that. You know? Let's see here. Well, you guys tell me which one of those Mad Libs you'd like to do. I'm going to look up and see what other Mad Libs are available. What are the themes there are that we can get? So, Avengers, Star Trek, or DC Comics are your choices today. Chamber of Secrets. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's see here. Mad Libs. Let's see what we get. Okay, we got one vote for DC. Oh, look at that. They have a Thanksgiving themed one and a Christmas one. A Christmas Mad Libs. Ooh. Get dinner for the family and set up a Twitch stream. Happy. Oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. I found it on some station. I forget what stream it is. I think it might be Hulu. I found it on Hulu, I think. I was watching it for a while and it was just phenomenal. I want to own that, like Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. That one was fascinating. Fascinating. Like the voice actors on it, like the show itself, like that. Is it on YouTube? Okay, well that's good to know. Because I thought I saw it on Hulu or somewhere else too. But yes. Oh yes, Dungeons and Dragons. I so wanted there to be an actual like theme park you go to like ride rides based on the things that happened to the kids in the TV show. I was so for it because at the beginning of the show, they're at a theme park, you know? Well, I don't know if I can get the Thanksgiving one. Yeah, the Thanksgiving one might not get here in time. But the Christmas one would be fun for when we have Christmas. But I definitely want to get one of the other ones that as an adult one. But I want to get one of the other ones that maybe has to do with some other themes that are geeky. So we'll have to look for that. But yeah, another. I mean, like that was like Dungeons and Dragons was cool, but it didn't last very long. Like yeah. I almost was gonna get some hot chocolate too, Uncle Yukon. The Monster Manual, seeing the bestiary in the show was mind blowing. I know, like I wasn't into like playing the actual Dungeons and Dragons game. I never actually did that. So for me, it was just like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to play that. And I didn't know any. At least I didn't think I knew anyone that played Dungeons and Dragons. So I never knew about it. I saw the book at like a bookstore and stuff, but like I don't remember like ever having a chance to play it. And I've played some role playing games recently in the last like 5 years, and there's some that I like and there's some that I don't. But I have not actually officially played the actual like Dungeons and Dragons role playing game. But it's fascinating to realize like nowadays just how many people are playing. I have a friend. She was talking about played 2 games yesterday of Dungeons and Dragons. So like that's phenomenal that people do that. I don't know like if I'd want to, but I'd be interested just to see. But like if like Universal or some other place that did like Six Flags that did amusements like did some sort of ride, like either based on the cartoon or based on the actual like Dungeons and Dragons theme, that would be so super fun to see being done. I think it's better than trying to do like just like a general like Renaissance theme. It was good on its own if you didn't play, but that was one of my first experiences with Easter eggs before the term was. Oh yeah, I'm sure there were things from Dungeons and Dragons that were in the cartoon that were really cool. Yeah, that was a really cool one. Do you know another cartoon that was really cool that I loved back in the day? I actually had 2 toys based on it. Mask. Do you guys remember Mask? That was a cool one. I remember Mask. Mask was fun because it was these guys that had well, they wore these helmets and these suits, and they had like vehicles that became other vehicles. It was sort of like almost Transformers without being Transformers, and they were like, I was another fun one that I loved to watch was Mask. I loved Mask. That was another cool one. Oh, you remember what the letters stood for, Mark? Mobile Armored Strike Command. Yes, that is a good one. That is a good one. Okay, so I looked up Mad Libs. So there's a Christmas one. I might get a Christmas one so that we have that every year for Christmas. There's some Disney ones I could probably get. Ooh, there's a Mickey Mouse themed one, a Toy Story themed one, a Disney Princesses themed one. Oh, here's a cool one to get. Star Wars Droids Mad Libs. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to order that one. So that'll be added to the rotation of Mad Libs, I think. Yes. Let's go add that to the cart. I think we're going to add that one to the mix for sure right now. That'll be fun. Okay, so what are some other like TV shows or movies from the 80s that you guys liked? Like share with me what you guys thought. Hey, Bearded Comic Bro. Yeah, I actually had another Star Wars Mad Libs that we finished, and it was based on the original series. So I'm trying to find other ones. So I'm looking up other ones that are listed. So there's a newer one. There's like a newer edition of Star Wars that's based on the newer movies. G.I. Joe and Transformers, man. Can't go wrong with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Mork and Mindy, Uncle Yukon talking about Mork and Mindy. Yeah. Mork and Mindy, that is always a good one. That is always a good one. Man, I don't even know if I could find Mork and Mindy on anywhere streaming. That would be interesting to find that one streaming somewhere because that was a fascinating show. Like, it's like based on Robin Williams, just his quirkiness. And one of his quirkiness was that he was like an alien. Oh, yeah, Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Like, come on, man. Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. Like, that's the first time, like like mutants were on TV. Like if you think about it, the first time mutants was on TV was Spider-Man's Amazing Friends with Starfire and Iceman. And I think Starfire was because Starfire joined, I think, the comic books because she was in the TV show. I think she was created for the TV show. He was a gem. Robin Williams was totally a gem. Totally a gem. Okay, so I'm going to add some stuff to a list, and I'm going to buy at least one. So what I might need to do, they even got Thunderbird? Whoa, Thunderbird, interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list of, oops, that's not where I wanted that added to. That's weird. I will add to, I'll add to a list of different Mad Libs we can add. And what I'll do is I'll put up on social media somewhere a poll to see what Mad Lib I should add to the mix. They made him turn into a bear. They made Thunderbird turn into a bear. That's up there with the Canadian female superhero that like she turned into a bear and she turned into a bird. What was her name? She was in Alpha Flight. That's like so random. So random. All right, let's talk about Snowbird. That's her name. Thank you. So what's another TV show from your guys' childhood that you think is really fascinating and you would love to see again? Alpha Flight was really cool. Like it had its moments of like sweet, like really good like storylines and stuff. But as time went by, it sort of like got lost in the shuffle of things when it comes to comic books, you know? Didn't take off as much. But what's like another TV show or movie or something, a cartoon from your like childhood that like you love the most and you wish you could see again? Hey, Paul, welcome aboard. We're just talking about 80s cartoons, movies, and TV shows. 90s is cool. You can be from whatever era, whatever time frame, Bearded Comic Bro, does not matter. I do remember, like, even though I was in my like teens in the 90s, I was a teenager in the 90s. So I wasn't watching too much like Saturday morning cartoons. That's a long name for a show. Sergeant Preston of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and his faithful dog, Yukon King. Wow, that's a long name. Sky King, okay, cool. Those are interesting. Yeah, so the 90s, that was a time frame too, like really big. The Fonz killed the D&D cartoon? What? Mark, drop the T, man. What's going on? What happened? We need to know. What did the Fonz do? What? If you guys don't know who the Fonz is, his name is the Fonz because he was a rebel gang member, cool guy in the TV show Happy Days. His character was like pretty much a gang member, like a white guy in a gang. Darkwing Duck, can't go wrong. I remember Darkwing Duck and DuckTales, Tailspin, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Those were some fun shows. I remember every once in a while watching them when I had a chance when I was a teenager. You know, they were fun to see. I know they just made a remake of DuckTales. They made a remake of DuckTales, and I think they introduced Darkwing Duck in it. Fonzarelli is his full name. Arthur Fonzarelli. Arthur something Fonzarelli. But Happy Days, man. I tried watching Happy Days, and that show, like, from the first season to the second and every other season on was so different. The first season, it was like a different kind of look to it and like a feel and like the way the camera was done. Oh, Gary Marshall. There was a Fonz and Laverne and Shirley cartoon. Whoa. Yes, Henry Winkler is pretty nice. he has done some really great stuff even nowadays. Like he was on Parks and Rec and was hilarious on that. But that's interesting to learn about Laverne and Shirley and the Fonz. Yes, that was. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I didn't mean to hide your statement, Mark. Yes, it is bat boop crazy. It was. Fonz and the gang time travels. They time travel? That is so weird. Now that is bat poop crazy right there. That's just some of the things they do. Of course, there was a Mr. T cartoon as well. I don't know if most of you know about that, but there was a Mr. T cartoon as well. Can you believe that there was a Mr. T? He was supposed to be like some sort of bodyguard or like coach thing for a group of gymnastics kids who were doing gymnastics tours and doing like presentations of gymnastics stuff, but they were also solving crimes. It's like they tried to take the idea that was Scooby-Doo and the gang and like try to emulate that idea of a bunch of kids solving crimes. So like the shows had to do with like that kind of thing, you know? Angry Beavers and Invader Zim. Oh, you talked about Invader Zim before, Paul. I have not had a chance to watch that one. Oh, Mr. T. And then like the gymnast like does her flips and then she like does her pose and it becomes the T in his name. I gotta look that stuff up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's it. Oh, hot chocolate and mini marshmallows, Uncle Yukon. Late 90s, so many great, like before the 70s, there really wasn't like cartoons as much. Like anyone who's a Gen Xer or higher, there's like that became a thing. Like they made cartoons on Saturdays a big thing for our generations. Like rock and wrestling, I never saw that one. That must have been an interesting one. I have to look that one up. Crazy. Wow, rock and wrestling. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk Mad Libs. Who wants to play Mad Libs? Let's move on to do a Mad Libs. I think it's time for that. Was that Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hogan. That's another, like, okay, before we get this, let's just talk about it. Wrestling. Okay, when I was a kid, I was into wrestling a lot. Back in the day with Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Roddy Piper, oh my gosh, Andre the Giant. Like, I remember that stuff when I was a kid, and I got into it hardcore. I talked my mom into letting me get one of the wrestling events on pay-per-view. I remember talking to her into letting me get that. I remember that. It was crazy. Those guys, I'm not surprised they didn't make a cartoon about them. Totally. Uncle Yukon coming up with the old classics, Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny, and Friends. That's right. Captain Kangaroo and Howdy Doody. They were on TV even when I was a kid. I remember Captain Kangaroo and Howdy Doody. I remember Captain Kangaroo. He was still around. So Rocky 3 had come out. Both Hulk and Mr. T took off huge. So T got a cartoon, and Hogan, Roddy, Andre, all of them got their cartoon. It was the glory. Trey Glory. Chef's kiss. It was crazy. Like they would make anything they could make into a cartoon that they could then like cross promote with some other things to just make money. It was so crazy what they did. It was so crazy. So crazy. All right. Let's take a break from talking that and let's get into some Mad Libs because I know that's what some of you are here for is the Mad Libs. So let's see. Do we have any votes for DC Comics, Star Trek, or Avengers? Which shall we do first? What shall we do? What shall be the first one? Okay, we got to vote for DC from Uncle Yukon. Sorry, I get a little distracted because I have the Goonies playing in the background. And so I keep looking at that screen and seeing what they're doing. Dude, finding out about the lineup of the NFL, yes, it was totally like that. Uncle Yukon, just because you voted earlier does not make that 2 votes. You do not count as 2 votes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have a cookie. I made some chocolate chip cookies a few days ago. Oh. Chocolate chip cookies. So good. Okay, Mark. Thanks for hanging out. It was great to see you. And have fun tonight. Have good dinner with your family. And stay safe. So, okay. We got 1 vote for DC, Star Trek, or Avengers. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? And then we'll get into some more. I have a bunch of other like fun shows from my childhood I want to talk about. But let's do a Mad Libs for a moment. I'm gonna eat my cookie water. You guys vote. Oh, you're like the best darn cookies I've made in a while. Can't go wrong with a classic chocolate chip cookie. So, do we want to go DC Comics, or do we want to go Star Trek, or do we want to go Avengers? I agree. Chocolate chip cookies, the classic chocolate chip cookie. Like an apple pie. Just can't go wrong with that. I shouldn't say that for certain, because some people might like other cookies or other pies, but chocolate chip cookies and apple pies. One time I tried to make an apple pie with chocolate in it, some chocolate chips in it. And it was all right, because I used the chips you use for cookies, and of course they don't really melt. They stay the shape they're in. So I was hoping like they would melt and we'd have like little globs of yummy chocolate in there. So that was a bad idea. I sometimes experiment with my apple pies. All right. Do we want to play some Mad Libs, guys? Are we ready for Mad Libs? Yep. Me too. So what do we want to do? We want to play some Mad Libs? Or do we want to talk more about TV shows and stuff? Oh, lemon meringue pie. That's another good one. I always love a good lemon meringue pie. You can't go wrong with lemon meringue pie. Actually, there was a point in my childhood. I don't know how many years it was, but there was a point in my childhood where when it was my birthday and my mother asked me what I wanted for my birthday to eat, I would want a lemon meringue pie. So I think for a good 2 to 3 years running, my great-grandmother would make me a lemon meringue pie. Kid you not. She would make me a lemon meringue pie for my birthday for 3 years running, I think. I can remember 3 years in a row we had lemon meringue pie for my birthday. And my birthday's in December. So here it is, close to Christmas time. And I'm wanting a lemon meringue pie for my birthday. Oh, that's a story. That's a story for you. Anyone else got any ideas about like something from their childhood, like when it comes to like cartoons or movies that they remember that were memorable, that were fun? Also silent. Everyone's so quiet today. You're all just watching me. Is that it? I mean, that's the point. You're watching me, but you know, that's okay. Part of the reason you're here, right? To watch. I'll just keep eating cookies and then you can watch me eat cookies and watch Goonies. I wish I could have the sound up and so you guys could see it and hear it because it's a classic show. Like the Goonies. Gears 5. Nice. Your dog is climbing on the desk to get his ball. What's his ball doing up on the desk, Uncle Yukon? Oh, God. The Goonies are on their quest to find the gold. They got the coin that's leading them to the cabin. To find the gold. Such a good show. I have my version of Goonies that I have on DVD. Has not just has commentary, but has the main cast along with Richard Donner, the director, sitting at a table watching the movie, talking about the movie. And halfway through their conversation, Sean Astin disappears. And then someone goes, Where'd Sean go? Where's Sean at? And they all laugh. And it's like, oh, he's doing that Lord of the Rings thing. Because they were filming it just around the same time that Sean was Sam in Lord of the Rings. And he had to go do some other things for Lord of the Rings. So it was like some post-production thing, like over voiceover or something. So he was with them. So like halfway through the video, as you're watching this commentary, all of a sudden, like it just slips and he's not sitting at the table anymore. And one of the other cast members goes, Where'd Sean go? Why did Sean leave? And it was just hilarious. Like they all knew why he left. But for us watching it, they wanted to like let us know why he wasn't there. It was pretty funny. Pretty funny. Oh, it's one of those toys that has a squeak in it. Oh, poor Alaska. All he wants to do is have some fun, and you're just not letting him. Poor puppy. All right. Last time I'm asking you to vote. If not, I'm going to choose one. You guys want to do DC Comics Mad Libs, Star Trek Mad Libs, or shall we do an Avengers Mad Libs? Those are your choices. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, it squawks? Oh, no. That's even louder probably than the squeak, huh? Uh-oh. Chunk found the Jeep with the bullet holes. That's one of my favorite things. He finds the Jeep and he's like rubbing it, and he finds bullet holes. He goes running. What a good movie. Goonies. It holds up. And I'm glad they never made a sequel. It's one of those movies that does not need a sequel. A sequel would have been horrible. The reunion that they have on this DVD where they're talking and getting to talk about stuff is the best thing for it. Like you get to hear them talk about like what they did with the rest of their lives. One of them became like president of some organization. And when like Chunk got skinnier and played football in college, I think is what they talked about in it. It was good. It's just so good. Like so good. So good. Well, too many lousy squeals, especially in the night. That would be bad. Well, how about this? Let's talk about another movie. I don't have the movie exactly to show you, but I have something to show you based on the movie. This is a poster print that a friend of mine, he goes by Bundy Mania on Instagram, and he makes some really great art prints based on TV shows and games and movies and cartoons. And he made this one a few years back. And as you can see by the name, it's called The Last Unicorn. It is one of my... Chunk became a contract lawyer. I wouldn't be surprised. But The Last Unicorn, I was super in middle school. For some reason, there was like a whole year or two of my life, I was fascinated with unicorns. Like super out of control fascinated with unicorns. I tried to get anything I could that had unicorns on it. And then this movie came out, and I saw this movie, and I wanted unicorns even more than I did before. And it's based on a book called The Last Unicorn. The book is very different sort of storyline than in the movie. I read recently that the actual author of the movie hated what they did. Author of the book hated what they did with the movie, so he's had some other books he's written, and he doesn't give them any IP. Like he's holding on to the IP. That's individual property. But yeah, it's or intellectual property, I should say, not individual. Movie during the movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's lots of movies where they talk about what happened to people after the movies, or they'll have like a little featurette of like where are they now. But you can go online and find so many articles about people and where are they now from movies or TV shows. But anyway, this was a really cool movie because one of the voice of the unicorn who was made into a woman, was acted by Mia Farrow. So crazy to think of her as doing a cartoon, like really good. But it was really interesting. I actually I listened to a podcast a few years ago. These girls call themselves Fake Geek Girls, and they just do commentary and review and critical review of like things from a female or feminine perspective, and look at like how it like holds up as well. Like what is it like now? Like how does it hold up? What is it really like? They did a really great podcast on The Last Unicorn, which I loved to listen to because I learned a lot about all the back stuff that was going on behind the scenes. And it was really cool to learn about. But this was a really good movie, like very dark. It was actually made by the same people who made the Lord of the Rings cartoons. I forget his name off the top of my head. But it was really cool. Like it was really fascinating. Some of the other people who had voice actors that were in it were like Alan Arkin, Jeff Bridges, Angela Lansbury, Christopher Lee. Like so many different people were in this movie who did the voices. It was really cool. So yeah, that's one from my childhood I really liked that I remember that was memorable. Another movie from my childhood that I really loved that's really memorable and I still own, which was super fascinating. It's like it took fantasy to like a whole nother place that I never thought I would ever see happen, and that was this one, Krull. You don't see Krull much anymore. Like it was just, there's a Cyclops. There's this alien race that comes to this fantasy planet. Like the planet is very like fantasy based, but then the science fiction kind of thing comes in to try to destroy them. And this guy finds this thing that looks like a bunch of knives stuck together to throw at people. It's really fascinating. Like he goes on a quest to find this thing. So this guy goes on a quest to find this thing to save this girl from this evil that has this weird dome place that they're keeping her in. This is one of his friends who's a Cyclops. Just like, yeah, like it's just, man, you just can't get more weird and out there. Like 80s fantasy movie cartoons. Like this is the penultimate for me, I believe, of fantasy sci-fi 80s like movies. Like it doesn't get more crazy than this, I can assure you. Another one that I love that's science fiction is The Last Starfighter. That's another good one that I loved from my childhood. I have this on. I remember watching this movie in the theater, and I so wanted to find a video game arcade that had the game that was played in the movie to see if I could become a starfighter. And I really wasn't like that into games. Just the thought of like, if you play this game and become the top winner on it, that you must like, you have to come back and like you'll be a starfighter in an actual war. It was such a good movie. That was such a good one. Such a good one. Well, we got like about 30 minutes left. Do you guys want to play The Navigator, The Flight of the Navigator? That's on Disney Plus. I watched that a few months back. That was so cool to watch. That was another one where I was a kid and that just like did it. Okay, you guys want to do Mad Libs? Okay, I got one person who says they want to do Mad Libs. All right, so which one do we want to do? I know, you keep wanting to do DC Comics, Uncle Yukon. Let's do it. Let's do some DC Comics. Let me find the latest one. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. That's it. That's the last one for DC Comics. We're on the last Mad Libs for DC Comics. Okay, so here's the rules. I'm going to give you a word, and that word could either be an adjective, an adverb, a noun, a verb, an exclamation point, a place, a silly word, an animal, a number, a color, or a person. Yes, it's so fun to talk about TVs and movies. I enjoy it. I'm glad we got to do it. But I like doing Mad Libs too. So let's at least do one before like the end of our hour of time we have together. Okay. So those, I'm going to ask you for one of those words. You guys give it to me in the comments, and then I will put it in here, and then I'll read it off to you guys, okay? All right, so the first word I need is an adjective. I need an adjective. While you're going to do that, I'm going to put on a little more light because it's getting a little dark out. I'm going to put some artificial light on just to give me a little, oh, that's better. You probably don't notice the difference, but I do. Yukon. All right, the first word I need is an adjective, which describes something or somebody. Adjective. Cold. Cold. Next, I need a plural noun. A plural noun. So I have the subtitles going so I can read what's going on in the movie, what they're saying. And there's a scene where like Sean Astin's character hits a metal tool used for fireplaces on the ground. And the character says, "What are you doing? You're going to knock out all your fillings." Instead, it said, "What are you doing? You're going to knock out a fist." Someone needs to work on their subtitle writing. I read it again. The line is, What? This place is Creepsville. It says what? This place is Thrillsville. Oh man. Okay, so now I need a plural noun. A plural noun. Trees. Now I'll need a verb, which is an action word that ends in ing, so past tense action word. Climbing. Okay, now I need a noun. A noun. Person, place, or thing. Stood. That is a verb. So a noun. Person, place, or thing. I'm laughing because it's at that point in the movie where Chunk finds the freezer full of ice cream. Magic book eating Harry's boot. I just needed one noun, not 5. I don't know what that book's called. We'll just say the monster book. We'll use that as a noun, monster book. I know you're talking about the Harry Potter TV show because that's what you're watching. It's on TV right now, Uncle Yukon. That's fascinating. Because you can't find it anywhere live stream. You can't stream it on any of the streaming channels. You can't find it. Maybe it's on HBO Max. I don't know. All right, I need another noun. Another noun. Forest. Now I need the name of a person who is taking part in the video in the chat. I'm going to go with Paul. Paul, I was going to say Paul too, Uncle Yukon. We're going to go with Paul. Congratulations, Paul. You're in the Mad Lib. Now I need an occupation, but a plural occupation. Something that someone does, but plural. The plural form of it. Lumberman. Now I need an adjective, which is, of course, describes something or somebody. Hey, don't be mean to operators. I'm joking. Is there a theme going on here? I don't know what kind of theme it is. We've got lumbermen, monster books, trees. Well, yeah, there is it's a very natural-esque one. All right, adjective. Describe something or somebody. I can't see the forest through the traffic lights. All right, now I need the name of a celebrity. The name of a celebrity. Chocolate cookies, so good. Marilyn Monroe. Now I need a name of a vehicle, a kind of vehicle. Gillian Anderson. DeSoto. Ooh, a DeSoto. There's a classic car. You don't see many of them around anymore. Now I need another adjective. Man, Goonies. What a movie. What a movie. Pink. Yeah. Okay. Now I need a place. The name of a place. Hotel Transylvania. All right, last word I need is an adjective. Describes something or somebody, an adjective. Adjective describes something or somebody. Funny, that works. Okay, here we go. The last DZ comic Mad Lib says it's called The Dark Night with the Dark Knight. Dear Diary, I've just returned from another cold night patrolling the trees of Gotham City. The sun had barely set before I stopped two criminals from climbing a bank. No sooner was that done than a monster book alarm went off. Someone was trying to rob the home of the famous forest collector, Paul. After I handed the evil criminal over to the lumberman, I drove the Batmobile to Arkham Asylum to see if any of my most red foes, like Marilyn Monroe, had escaped. On my way there, a call came over the police radio that they needed help to catch a DeSoto packed with pink jewel thieves. Finally, as the sun rose high over the city, I returned to Hotel Transylvania, satisfied that once more I had been able to protect the people of my funny city. Those actually worked. Like, some of those actually worked. I mean, I don't know if you're actually famous for forest collecting, Paul, but that actually worked. Well, that's it. We're down to two, so I will be adding either I'm going to make a poll for either a Disney or a Star Wars themed at Mad Libs to add to the mix. So if you guys want to vote for that, I will put that up on my Instagram and I think on my Twitter. I don't know if I could do a poll on Facebook. I'll see if I can, and then see what we get. So I think that's it. We're going to end right there for now. So thanks for joining me, guys. You do have a lot of firewood, Paul. Well, you do have that nice little fire pit. I don't know if you have an indoor fireplace or not, but that's pretty cool. So we're going to end it there. This week I have a video coming up that is going to be a comic book video, another comic book video. I just did one last week, which was a list of all like some questions about comic books that I love or do or don't love. So that one went up. And then it's Thanksgiving this week. I hope everyone has a good, safe Thanksgiving if you're celebrating it. And I will be here next Sunday for sure because I'm not going anywhere. Usually I try to go somewhere for Thanksgiving, like to see some friends in Portland, but we really can't go that kind of traveling unless we absolutely positively have to, and I absolutely positively don't have to, sadly. So I'll see you guys next Sunday, and don't forget to watch my video that's coming out this week, and I will see you all real soon. Bye.